The new Polaris on the PTU is actually not good against other capital ships, at least not on her own. I'm gonna prove that to you here by engaging with the Idris that we see from the Arlington mission string. And yeah, let's see how that goes. We're gonna fire, as you have seen here in the intro, complete full quad size or quad salvos of these size 10 torpedoes, and we're gonna fire all of them because all of them are actually needed. This is what it looks like when you're on the command console to launch the torpedoes, and we're doing this from 8 kilometers distance. A full quad salvo here. This is how it looks like when these things are coming out. You can, by the way, also look elsewhere with the nose of the Polaris and still shoot it out, and they will curve down and attack. Doesn't matter at that range. You saw the Idris actually just fired her cannon somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah, you see the top right. She's building up her shields because she was in quantum mode when the torpedoes started approaching. So she's now switching to SCM guns mode to bring up the guns, and now she's actually counter-firing at the torpedoes. And here's a very interesting and important fact for you while we're sending the second salvo with 4 torps. You see she's already destroying all of the torpedoes coming her way. And not one of the first quad salvo actually made it through. And here's the important information for you. The Arlington Idris is an old model design of the Idris. I believe it's even much smaller than the regular Idris from the Xeno event and the one that we're going to get. And what it doesn't have is point defense systems. I think this Arlington Idris doesn't even have point defense. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure it's correct that the old model doesn't have it. And even though she doesn't even have point defense, just the regular turrets with the Galderine repeaters just shred every torpedo before it even gets close. And that just shows that an Idris, even without point defense systems running, single-handedly just flattens every incoming torpedo no matter what. And we're not done yet. We're just gonna continue firing those torps. My team and I were here in the Polaris and firing with whatever we've got, but of course the frontal bespoke cannons, they don't have a pip. You can't actually precisely shoot the enemy ship, which is really annoying. But in any case, I'm launching the next quad salvo of those size 10 torps, and they barely leave the ship, and they're already destroyed. Maybe at that point it would actually be smart to turn the Polaris sideways 90 degrees and just fire those torps in a straight line forward so that they then curve around and come from a different angle. Maybe that would help, but I'm pretty sure the Galderine repeaters on that Idris would just flatten them. No problem. And again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there isn't even point defense on that Arlington Idris, which means that this thing is, this Polaris isn't really doing what it's supposed to do, being incredibly dangerous to those large capital-sized ships. Now, of course, you could improve on the technique that we are using here. You could start spamming all kinds of rockets. You could have ships by your side just spamming rockets, Constellation Andromedas, for example, right? Just freaking spamming those rockets out everywhere. Also, every other rocket turret just spamming rockets at the same time, so that the Idris doesn't just have the torpedoes to aim at, but also many other incoming missiles. Now, there is the question, will the ship focus fire the larger and more dangerous torpedoes first, or will it treat any regular incoming missile the same way? I don't know that, but if you're focusing on shooting a couple of rockets, which we do plus the torpedoes, not one torpedo actually ever makes it through. And that's crazy, right? That's just, yeah. But of course, in that regard, we also have to mention another thing, which is that there is some rumor going on, or maybe it's not even a rumor, maybe it's a fact, and I'm not sure about it, that the torpedoes of the Polaris is supposed to get some kind of stealth. They're supposed to not be so easily detectable. If that is the case, then yeah, then it would be different, right? Then the torpedoes would be more dangerous. If, for example, they only start appearing on your radar 3 kilometers away or 2 kilometers, leaving you a lot less time to shoot them off. And by the way, if you have this problem on turrets, very important info here, where you lock onto an enemy and you're sitting in a manned turret and it just turns around like crazy, press E. It fixes it. It just gives you the free movement again. But we still, as you can see here, I'm now in the double size 6. Important, I said that wrong in the last video. It's a size 6 cannon with the name Bespoke, a projectile cannon. It's not as good as the Deadbolt 6, but it is pretty okay. But as you can see, we have no lead pip. Or leg pip, doesn't matter. I literally can't aim with this weapon. I have to go with my guts and where my guts say I have to shoot. In this distance, obviously, it's easy to hit, but let's have this thing 2 kilometers away. And here you see the Arlington Idris up close, and there is no point defense. I don't see one. And also from boarding it recently, we did board an Arlington Idris a little while ago. It doesn't have an interior yet, so you can't walk around. And it also seems to be smaller than the regular Idris from the casino event, but yeah, I don't think it has point defense, and yet it had 0 problems shooting down the missiles. What do you think about the Polaris? What do you think about its in the future? What kind of features it will have with those torps? Let me know. And other than that, thanks for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video, and if you do, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, my friends. And until next time, Manni signing off. Bye-bye.